In Konsta Helenius, you're getting one of the smartest forwards in the draft, a player who's already thriving against men in the top pro league in Finland, and a player who seems like a solid bet to stick at center. So why might he drop to the teens instead of being a lock for the top 10 in the 2024 NHL Draft? Pretty much all scouts agree that Konsta Helenius is going to be a quality NHLer. There's just too many good things about his game, which he showed in his draft year when he scored 36 points in 51 regular season games for his club in Liga, the top pro league in Finland. That's not easy. But are there enough great things about his game to give him true top-of-the-lineup potential? That's the big debate around Konsta Helenius, and that's the question that scouts picking 4 teams in the top 10 are asking right now. So if we're talking about the strengths of Helenius' game, let's start with the biggest one, his intelligence. He just thinks the game at an extremely high level. He anticipates what opponents are going to do before they do it, and then he beats them to the punch. Now that pops up everywhere with the puck in terms of manipulating defenses in the defensive zone, without the puck in terms of anticipating what the offense is going to do, and it really pops up in his forechecking. His anticipation and his recognition, it just really makes him a great forechecker, and you add in the fact that he has an extremely high motor, and he's relentless. He just knows where to go on the forecheck, and what it leads to is his team having the puck a lot more than they would otherwise. Helenius is also a pretty strong skater. He's not necessarily explosive, but he has a good top speed, and he's rarely behind the play at the pro level, which speaks to the fact that at the NHL, he probably wouldn't look out of place either. And that pro level experience in Finland and his success there, it's also really important to understanding why Helenius is such a highly touted prospect. He's shown that despite less than ideal size, he can fight through contact against pros. He can be an effective center against pros. There's a certainty he brings that guys who have only succeeded in junior hockey or even just college hockey, they just don't bring to the table. So what about Helenius' weaknesses? Well, the main one to my eyes is just the lack of an obvious dynamic element to his game. Now look, maybe he's hurt by the fact that he's playing against pro-level competition and some of his peers are playing in junior hockey or playing in college. Maybe if he was still in juniors in Finland, he'd be tearing it up every night and he'd look more explosive and skilled. But to my eyes and to most scouts' eyes, he's a little bit more of a jack-of-all-trades type than a guy who really pops out when you watch him play. There's also some scouts that worry about his size. He's a shade under 6 foot. Scouts tend to prefer centers who are over 6 foot, who are bigger. And while he's strong, and that will lead likely to him making the NHL quicker than most of the other guys at the top of this draft class, he's never going to be physically dominant. He's a strong forechecker, yeah, but will he get the most out of that skill at the NHL level given his lack of size and lack of ideal strength? It's unclear. The big question, though, really, is with regards to his ultimate upside. There are few that doubt Helenius is going to be a really good middle 6 center at the NHL level. He might even be a great 2C. But can he be a 1C? Does he have franchise-changing upside? In comparison to peers like Caden Lidstrom or Berkeley Catton or Ivan Demidov, his ceiling, it just seems lower. That said, Konsta Helenius' floor is really, really high. Teams need great second-line centers too, especially ones that look like they're going to be able to drive play and score at a pretty high level at the NHL level. Konsta Helenius, at least in my mind, he strikes me as the kind of guy that every team in the NHL would want. He's a guy that coaches are going to love, and he's going to have a pretty good role at the NHL level to my eyes. There's certainty with him in terms of projection that a lot of the other prospects at the top of the draft just don't have. He just probably won't be a star.
We all silly like the mayor.